Hi everyone, so thank you to G2A for sponsoring this little shout out. It's actually super cool. You can check it out, description down below. What it is, it's called a G2A deal, and it is a bunch of games for initially the low price of like €1.50 or something. And they're working directly with the developers of these games to make this possible. That's gonna do it for this little shout out. Enjoy the video. Hello everybody and welcome back to another ARK video. Today, a brand new update came out for ARK on PC, and oh my god, does it have some awesome things. So first off, in this video, we're going to be talking about the EEL, the ELECTROPHORUS, however you want to call that. And there's probably going to be at least one more video. So let me know in the comments section which dino you want me to cover later today. There are like 3 more. I'll leave the 3 in the comments section along with like their wiki pages so you can link to them. But this video is about the EEL, the ELECTROPHORUS, and how awesome this thing is. So if you want to know how to tame it really quickly, just some info on that. The KO strategy is that it is a passive tame. It is very aggressive with a humongous aggro radius. It's pretty much recommended you have like riot armor and high fortitude for torpor reduction, because that's kind of their thing, is they kind of do inflict torpor, and also high oxygen to chase them down, because their passive food, their preferred food is biotoxin. As weird as that is, these bastards thrive off it. So you're going to want to go ahead and stockpile that off the jellyfish, because that is what drops it. And I honestly love this update so much, because they've added, like, I love that they're giving so much love to the ocean as of late, because the ocean really, in the beginning of ARK, it was kind of like pretty neglected. It had like sharks and... yeah, it pretty much had sharks, and they started doing like the plesio and masa, but in the last couple updates, like last 5 updates, they've given it a ton of stuff, and I absolutely love it. It feels so alive and so amazing. But back on top, we're going to be talking about this and what it is really good for. So kind of in the dossier, what the dossier says is that it occupies a space in the low to middle end of the food chain. It is a carnivorous swimmer that feeds mostly off shellfish and small fish. Despite its common name, it's actually a knife fish, not an eel, so it does not provide much meat, so many predators simply leave it alone. And I imagine they also leave it alone because of the whole, you know, the whole electrocution thing. I'd be pretty pissed off if like my dinner started electrocuting me. But other than that, in the wild, unlike most predators, it does not use brute strength to bring down its prey, but instead uses the whole like electricity thing. It releases an electrical charge around itself to knock the prey unconscious alone. This can take out a small creature. When attacking together, though, it can even bring down larger ocean life forms and then feed as a group. And you will see that throughout the video, because as we do get more ELECTROPHORUSes around, they kind of get that herd effect where they get like the +1 above their heads, or +2. So when they're in a group, their electricity kind of like chains together and becomes stronger, which is absolutely ridiculous. So domesticated, by far the most common use of it is to knock out large ocean creatures. Knocking out a plesiosaur or other giant deep sea creature can be incredibly difficult. Thus, many tribes end up employing small schools of this to shock targets into submission. I don't know how high you can actually get the boost to go, but you really do want as many of these as possible to ensure that you can knock things out, because they are... whew, these things are pretty freaking nutty. But other than that, that about does cover what he does. Again, he is a carnivore, but you're not going to be feeding him actual meat, unless no, I don't think you can feed him meat, because it's a passive tame. I don't think you really get to choose what you want to feed him. So again, this came out just today, I think this morning, and as you'll be seeing in the video, you can see them just tag teaming this poor shark right now. And for some reason, here's the thing about them, right? They don't do too much damage, and their stats aren't too ridiculous, but you can see that when they do that electricity thing, not only are they, I think they slowly increase the I'm not sure on the torpor, because when I was playing, for whatever reason, it wasn't knocking sharks unconscious, but what they would do is whenever something got shocked, the thing would actually end. It would like stop moving. So in my experience, they weren't actually doing anything to kind of increase the torpor. All that I was seeing was the fact that they were kind of stopping them from moving or anything. And then the bigger they got, what I saw is when they got into a bigger group, they just were able to cover a larger radius, because they kind of like chain off each other, kind of like actual electricity. They go like pew 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 and get everything. Right there you can see they got the manta ray and the shark, even though they were only technically attacking one. But if you're gonna want to try to use them as a support animal, which you can in the sea, they don't do too much damage. You don't want to just bring these down there to try and knock things out, because you're just gonna have a bad time. You do want a backup plan and probably something that can do a decent amount of damage. So maybe a shark. I'd recommend probably something a little bit tougher than a shark if you got it, because in the deep sea there are some very powerful creatures, and while these can kind of stun them, stop them from attacking for a sec, at the end of the day they're not going to be able to kill whatever's attacking, unless like you got a really powerful underwater gun. But I don't think most people have powerful underwater weapons. But what you should be able to do is they make absolutely great support animals, because if you're fighting a fight underwater, right, a mosasaur that can do 10 hits per person, or like can do 10 hits to someone, is a lot more deadly than a mosasaur that's like shocked for half the time and can only get in like 3 or 4 hits. So by utilizing this thing, you really are going to actually make sure that just everything's all your attacks, and you're just a lot more effective underwater. I think that's a good way of putting it. So right here you're going to be seeing me underwater with exactly that, with something more powerful like a mosasaurus. I do have a couple leftover megalodons just kind of chilling. Again, they're not like the strongest things in the world, right? But you can see the electrophoruses in deep water. There's a huge group of megalodons attacking me and my group, and the electrophoruses are just doing a whole ton of knockouts to them. The electrophoruses are kind of following me though, so I do have to kind of tell them, yo, go back to attacking that, but they kind of do attack on demand, and it is so satisfying to just see them shock stuff like that, especially when you have something as epic as a mosasaur helping out from the sidelines and just doing an awesome job. So these things are going to be super useful as a underwater support. Like I've said earlier, I'm very excited to see kind of some of the insane things some ARK players do with it, because ARK players can be absolutely nutty with some of the strategies they come up with. But other than that, that about does it for the action we're going to be showing on the eels. For now, let's go ahead and get back into kind of demonstrating some of their stats. Here you can see them trying to bully the hell out of this shark, but as soon as this is over. But now that those shenanigans are over, let's actually hop into the inventory of this thing and start taking a look at its stats. So the first thing, I don't know if this is like glitched or something, but last I checked, I don't think underwater things have oxygen. I might be crazy and just totally imagining things right now, but apparently he has oxygen, which really threw me off. You can see he's taking a whole ton of health damage from everything, but there are some of its base stats. So this is all these eels we're working with are in the wild, level 150 here. I'm just trying to check out his oxygen. It's not going down. So again, I think this might just be a glitch. Or if I remember correctly, I think the oxygen is kind of like they're under what? No, that doesn't make sense. I don't think oxygen does affect speed. So that's why I'm just really confused by that. If you guys know what's wrong with that, feel free to let me know. Currently, my eels are kind of hugging me to death. Probably electrocuting me too. Guess my guy's into some kinky stuff. But here we can check out their base stats. Like I said, we are working with level 150 eels here in a theoretically perfect tame, where they get all the way up to level 225. You can see about like around 2,000 health base. When you level it up, it goes out by about 100. So let's just say give or take 5%. Stamina base around 700. Oxygen around 5,000, 4,000, somewhere around there. Food around 5,000. Weight about 250. Melee damage about 240. And movement speed 100. Again, that can vary, especially based on breeding and all that stuff. Stamina goes up by about 80 when we did that. Melee damage went up by about 4. Movement speed about 2.5. Let's check out another one of these guys, and you can see his oxygen goes up by about 500 or so. And am I gonna check out the weight too? I think I am. Oh no, here I'm checking if his oxygen is going up since he's underwater, and it isn't, oddly enough. Well, that doesn't, you know what I mean. Oxygen goes up by about 20, 25, I think. And that pretty much does it for the stats. You guys saw pretty much around their base stats. So by far, they're not going to be the most powerful dinosaur out there in the kingdom, but holy crap, are they going to be an amazing support dinosaur. And if the Topor thing does start working, again, I don't know if I somehow did something wrong. Maybe I did. But if the Topor thing does start working, they're going to be absolutely amazing for trying to knock out and tame underwater animals. And even if they don't directly do the Topor damage, it's still going to be super useful because you can use them to kind of stun the Mosasaur, and then as long as they stay alive while they're kind of like repeatedly stunning it, you could just like keep on pumping it full of trank arrows and whatnot and make for an awesome time. But other than that, that's about going to do it for me. Let me know what you guys think of the ELECTROPHORUS in the comment section down below. Are you guys going to be doing anything with it? Are you guys going to be taming it? And if so, how are you going to put it to use? I really am curious to hear. But other than that, that is going to do it for me. Thank you guys a ton for watching. Hopefully one more ARK coming out today, and I absolutely cannot wait to bless your eyes with some more ARK gameplay, bless your soul with some more happiness or fun or boredom. If I bored you, I'm really sorry. I'll try better. But yeah, other than that, that is really gonna do it for me. Thank you guys for being so awesome, for sticking around, for enjoying the video, and yeah, more ARK to come and other games. So woot woot. Side note, I sprained my ankle the other day. It hurts like hell. If you stuck around this long, I'm guessing you might care about me as a person. So yeah, sprained my ankle the other day playing basketball. That sucked. Can't move. Tuesday, I have to start walking to class. That's gonna be a struggle, but that's gonna do it for me. Have yourselves a fantastic day, and I'll talk to you in the next one. See ya.